band that's so fucking wild and balls to the wall, like it almost feels like you have to be a drunk party guy, and then stopping that is so difficult while still engaging in that.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of comics go through that too. I know comics that get sober and are like, I don't know how to be on stage. Like, is that a hard thing to...
Yeah. I mean, George Jones' autobiography, right? With the first time he played sober, like just walking out on stage feeling, I mean, because that's the whole thing with being sober is that there's nothing there anymore. Like it's just you to deal with your feelings and that's why you drank in the first place. Like you're just confronted with that.
Well, I struggle with, sobriety in terms of, I'm on medication. I'm prescribed. I'm bipolar 2. And so I need to be on medication in order to, navigate the world. But a part of me, that everyone that's on meds has that thing that's like, nah, man, you need to be natural, be yourself. And then the second you say to someone like, I stopped taking my meds, I feel great. They're like, go to a hospital. Call someone.
Yeah, they're like on the phone with your mom telling her to come pick you up.
Yeah. And we were talking about that too. So because I was on so much Zoloft that I was so numb to everything. Nothing was good. Nothing was bad. I felt like a ghost in my own life of this feeling of just, the best way I can describe it is I felt medium. And I'd rather dive bomb or be like ecstatic than just be like, fine, and so how's that been going for you, if you don't mind me asking?
No, not at all. I mean, I take a couple of things. My problem is a panic disorder. It's not, and the problem is that everything that they prescribe for panic is either something I can't take because of drinking or something that is going to make me gain weight. And so they won't, so I've had to take, Wellbutrin, which has, along with some other drugs, but that one has some coverage for panic, and I recently stopped taking it because I ran out of it.
Cold turkey.
And
that's
it was
cold turkey is fucking crazy. I've had to do that with like Adderall and Prozac at the same time, and you're like hearing voises and shit, like really out of it.
I was so even last night I was like sitting there like so I was just
cold turkey's for eating, not doing.
It sucks so hard to get sober and then have to go through withdrawal of something. You're like, I did the right thing. I did the good thing. Why am I feeling this way?
I just had no idea that it had that big of a physical effect, like where it's like, oh, you feel like you had the flu or something. It's terrible.
Do you feel like they had been effective? I mean, again, if this is too personal, but like, do you feel like they had been effective at helping with the panic disorder?
Yeah, I do. I mean, because I don't know if it's the drugs or if it's just being in a better place, but, and also, man, like, the CBT stuff helps. It really does help. And I've learned
EMDR is coming up in my life from so many people.
I have friends who say it like, and I've seen the results in them change their life.
What is it?
It seems amazing.
It's this like rapid eye movement.
Oh,
like,
that thing, yeah.
Yeah, where you like go through trauma and like something about the way you move your eyes like rewires how your brain is processing it, and you like reprocess that trauma and like integrate it into yourself, is my understanding.
Yeah, I think it kind of uncouples the memory of the trauma from the like physical experience of feeling it again, if that makes sense. That's just what someone who did it told me.
The way it was pitched to me was, this is a massively intense form of therapy, and you will have to block out a day to a day and a half of recovery from this. And I was like, well, that ain't happening. Right. I already have a hard enough time. If I go deep in a session like that, I'm shot. And it's like, I've talked to friends that are like, yeah, I'm incapacitated. I have to do it on a Friday because I'm done for the weekend. And I'm like, what? Why would I do this? It's scary. Yeah. But I mean, like, in getting through it and everything, it's I always, again, I go back to the med thing, but I always get to a place in therapy where I'm like, I'm good, man. I think we're just kind of catching up. I don't need to. Let's do every other week.
Yes.
And then everything unravels, and I'm like, are you available at my every beck and call? Please help.
Every time I cancel therapy, the next day something happens where I have to text my therapist and be like, actually, I don't have the tools. I thought I had them.
I don't have them.
I forgot the tools.
Yeah. No, for me, like, it really, like, that, just CBT helped, right? Like, and the only thing I remembered was list making. Like when I would panic, I just make a list. and in my brain, and usually with songs, right? Like here's a bunch of covers I want to do, and that makes me think about music and bands and and then like or set lists, like make a set list in my head, and then I would.
Dude, on the nights that I could not drink myself to sleep, or the nights I'd like be shaking because I didn't have alcohol and I didn't know in order to still my mind, this is before I started comedy, I would go, if you were a comedian, what would your set list be? What jokes would you tell?
Wow.
What like that would be the thing that I'd bring my mind back to get away from like how awful everything I was going through was. That was like my like list making and everything.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some covers that you would want to do, just out of curiosity?
Well, I mean, when
Rock Lobster in every language.
that was when I had this side project thing called Misery Brothers, and that was when I was doing that a lot more because I was teaching at the time, and that's when my drinking actually got way worse than when I was playing music, and because there's like college professors are full of shit. They have less pressure on them than rock musicians do any fucking day of the week. Yeah, so I had a lot more time to just get fucked up.
Dude, when I was teaching, man, I was a substitute teacher. I'd have to get up at 7 a.m. to look at all the open spots for teaching. Oh, nothing? Well, I don't know what to do with myself. I better start drinking.
Yeah. I even noticed that with my anxiety too. I'm like, when I have shit that I have to do, like not voluntary activities, but when I'm like, oh, it almost feels like anxiety sometimes is like an autoimmune disorder where it's like there's nothing for it, like my brain to latch onto and analyze and figure out and try to solve, so it like cannibalizes itself. And I'm like, if I can point that out into the world instead of back on me, that's like half of it.
Yeah.
Because I have panic disorder too. I got like diagnosed and I've been having panic attacks since I was like 5, when you're like, and it's the fucking scariest thing in the world. Like, did you have them like when you were a young kid? Or, like, do you remember that?
I did. And I didn't know obviously what they were, and I was like hyper, like I was medicated when I was a kid with like Ritalin and shit.
Yeah,
So and I went to psychiatrists a lot when I was a kid, and then they found me smoking weed and they sent me to a mental hospital.
Wow.
And I was in there with like and I was in there with like kids that I was actually talking to my dad about this recently. I was like, that like I was in there with like my roommate, like his stepdad was fucking him, right? like that's where you put me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus. And I was just smoking weed out of an apple.
Yeah.
Coffee eyes, no matter what.